The passing of Pope Francis left behind a legacy as one of the Church's most compassionate leaders when it came to LGBTQ rights. Now the Vatican is gearing up to pick a new pope, but where do the top contenders stand on LGBTQ rights? One of the top contenders include Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo Basungu. If selected, Basungu could make history as the first African pope. Basungu has taken a hardline stance against LGBTQ rights. He fiercely opposed Pope Francis's decision to bless same-sex couples, saying in a 2024 interview that blessing same-sex couples was a kind of Western imperialism, and that encouraging African seminarians to take a pro-LGBTQ stance would be a form of cultural colonization. If Basungu takes the papal throne, it's possible that we could see the Catholic Church move in a more conservative stance on LGBTQ rights. Next up is Cardinal Peter Erdo. Though Erdo doesn't share the same close relationship with Pope Francis as some other contenders, he's well respected in the Church's more conservative circles, which could give him a shot at the papacy. The Hungarian cardinal often disagreed with Francis on key issues, most notable on the topic of refugees, where he called accepting refugees into Europe human trafficking. As for LGBTQ rights, Erdo is firmly opposed to blessing same-sex marriages and may even support conversion therapy, with some reports suggesting he backs pastoral support for those with same-sex attraction. Pope Francis's second-in-command, Pietro Parolin, is one of the leading contenders for the papacy. Parolin was a close advisor to the Pope, even stepping in for him just days before his death. He's also expected to preside over the upcoming conclave. On LGBTQ rights, Parolin has shown a more conservative side. Despite being seen as one of the more moderate contenders, he has distanced himself from Pope Francis's more progressive stance. Notably, when Ireland legalized gay marriage, Parolin referred to it as a defeat for humanity. While he hasn't been as outspoken against LGBTQ issues as some, his views suggest he may not continue Francis's legacy of inclusivity within the Church. Luis Antonio Tagle, the 67-year-old cardinal from Manila, Philippines, is a familiar name in the race for Pope. Tagle was a serious contender in the 2013 conclave that saw Pope Francis elected. Despite being seen as too young at the time, Tagle remains a strong figure in the Vatican. If chosen, Tagle would make history as the first Asian pope, while he remains firmly opposed to abortion, reflecting a traditional stance in line with core Catholic teachings. Tagle has been one of the more progressive voices among church leaders when it comes to LGBTQ rights. While many of Pope Francis's allies distanced themselves from the Pope's support of same-sex couples, Tagle stood firm in his belief that the Church needed to reassess its stance. He has spoken out against the Church's approach to LGBTQ rights, which he believes has left queer Catholics, divorcees, and single mothers feeling alienated, a stance that aligns with the more compassionate tone set by Francis. Cardinal Joseph Tobin is one of the few Americans in the race. The 72-year-old cardinal from New Jersey has long been an advocate for LGBTQ inclusion. Known for his outreach to marginalized communities, Tobin is seen as one of the most LGBTQ friendly cardinals. His progressive stance has set him apart from other contenders, making him a standout in this conclave. Tobin has openly welcomed LGBTQ Catholics, even hosting a special mass for them in 2017. He publicly called for the Church to be more inclusive, stating that it should be without debate to welcome LGBTQ individuals into the Church. His compassion and openness toward the LGBTQ community make him one of the more progressive voices in the papal race. Last but not least, Cardinal Matteo Zuppi. The 69-year-old Italian is closely aligned with Pope Francis, having been appointed cardinal in 2015. Zuppi is often called the street priest due to his focus on the poor and disenfranchised. His progressive stance on social issues, along with his emphasis on mercy and inclusion, makes him a strong contender for the papacy. When it comes to LGBTQ rights, Zuppi has been a vocal supporter of Pope Francis's outreach to the LGBTQ community. He's publicly stated that the Church should show LGBTQ Catholics the same dignity as any other. Zuppi's focus on mercy, compassion, and inclusivity aligns him with Francis's vision of a more accepting and welcoming Church. If Zuppi is elected, we could see the Church continue down the more progressive path that Francis set in motion.